passion and cradled with care. But with morning's approach comes an echoing cry. It tells you to wave your dreams goodbye. And the moon is shining above. It wishes to show just how fragile you are. You're so frail and slight in its silvery light. Our fate is not one we can fight. Someday I hope that we'll be reunited, if that is what's destined to be. Perhaps we'll discover that elusive Bible, and then we will finally be free. This cruel thesis, a spiteful angel's mockery, will bring with it the sorrow of futility. Hold on tightly and do not lose vitality. You must wake up, for now the dream is history. Come now, reach out, you must embrace humanity. Rise up, young boy, and make yourself a legend. Love is the thread of the story that's woven, the future and present and past. I may not ever ascend to the heavens, but I know my love will still last. This cruel thesis, a spiteful angel's litany, will soon soar from the window of your destiny. White hot pathos, a desecrated symphony. Stay true to this and don't betray your memory. Come now, reach out, you must embrace reality. Rise up, young boy, and make yourself a legend.
Thank you for listening to Soul Radio. Thank you for listening to Soul Radio. The opinions expressed in this program are those of the host and the guests. This station is not responsible for any claims or representations made and does not endorse or recommend any products or services mentioned.
Attention please, attention please, attention please. Listen. If you don't like gospel, smooth R&B, and a talk show that's out of...
Thank you for listening to Soul Radio. The opinions expressed in this program are those of the host and the guests. This station is not responsible for any claims or representations made and does not endorse or recommend any products or services mentioned.
Attention, please. Attention, please. Attention, please. Listen. If you don't like gospel, smooth R&B, and a talk show that's out of this world, then stop listening now. For the rest of you, get ready for 2 hours for pure talk and musical joy.
I like the way it's going down.
Get ready for Let's Stay Together Talk.
All right, listen up, everybody.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
As flow as Jay-Z with the dog of Snoop and the soul of Levert. Bringing you words of wisdom like T.D. Jakes and Filling Our Spirit with Jacqueline, Sap, and Franklin, where you can find your rhythm and word. Get ready for 2 hours of real talk. It's time for Let's Stay Together Talk.
My girl, my boo, Arthur Brenda McCain, how you doing?
I'm good. It is Tuesday. It was a beautiful day outside, I believe. Yeah, I was out there. It was a beautiful day outside, but I'm doing pretty good right now.
Just like Mr. Rogers says, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you? Could you? Would you be my neighbor? Speaking of neighbors who wants to be a jokester today, we got LP Productions here. LP, how you doing?
I'm all right.
You all right? That's all you're gonna hear from him, Pete. That like they say on Bugs Bunny. That's all, folks.
Yep.
You ain't gonna hear too much more from him. He's like Mr. Ed. He ain't gonna say nothing unless he got something to say, and that's just how we doing it. So hey, everybody, hope you're enjoying yourself on this beautiful day all over Chicagoland area. We are praying for everyone who is listening to the show. Tell somebody about Let's Stay Together Talk and have them come visit us. Give us about 15 minutes of your time, like Geico. Give us 15 minutes and we'll save your life. Let's just say that.
Hey.
We'll do something to save your life. We'll give you a soul-satisfying life endeavor that when you go back, you'll be different than what you came. I ain't promising you ain't gonna be crazier, but you're gonna be different.
You'll be different.
You're gonna be different. We're gonna fill you with the Holy Ghost Spirit and make you laugh at the same time. So, baby, what you got before we start our show today?
Well, I want to do a shout out to some birthdays this week since we doing that.
Well,
My beautiful sister had a birthday on August the 14th. So woo, she turned a year younger.
Okay.
And then I have a good close friend whose birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday, Michelle Chambers.
Okay.
And then piggyback on the 19th, it's my mom's birthday.
Yeah, it's your
So I'm
mom's
wishing
birthday.
all my trio of Leo women in my life happy birthday.
All right. I got something to share. It's not as much as happy, but my brother called me today. It was something I forgot. I knew the month was in August, but actually today was the day that my mom passed away. 6 years ago today, she passed away. I can still be in the room with her, having that song In the Upper Room playing when she passed away, and just sitting there. And I swear, I know y'all probably think I'm crazy, but I swear I saw a smile on her face when she heard that song, because she loved Mahalia Jackson, and I played that song. And I could still kind of have an out-of-body experience seeing myself walking down that long hallway at the hospital, going down to my car. And at that point, when I got to the car, that's when I kind of broke down and started crying, because the reality was setting in that I'm about to leave and never see her again. So love to my mom. Thank you, my brother Elby, for kind of reminding me about that. It's a sad occasion, but, I love the song. It says, he's coming back for me. What a day is going to be when I'll be going home. She went to go home to be with the Lord. And so in the sadness, there's rejoicing as well. So I'm excited and happy about that she did know Jesus Christ is her Lord and Savior. And she's up there with him now saying, Jesus, I'm sorry for that knucklehead son I got down there on that radio show. He's still saved somehow. He's a little nutty, but he's still saved somehow. So thank you, Mama. Yeah, I'm still saved somehow.
I doubt if she'd be saying her knuckleheaded son.
But hey, we got some great things we're going to talk about today. And I wrote these things down, and thank goodness for Ebonics. My wife was able to change them. On Christian Real, we're going to be talking about waiting for God to bring you into your destiny. Let's talk about, we're going to be talking being home-centered. You got to understand what that means by being home-centered. Stay on here with us, and we'll let you know. And what the hell, if you ain't heard about it, Dr. Dre's daughter is homeless. What you talking about, Willis? she homeless. You find out how much money he makes, and you wonder how is it that his daughter is homeless. We're going to talk about that on What the Heaven, What the Hell. And so before we get starting off on the show, LP, you ain't got nothing you want to add, nothing you want to say?
No.
Okay. I wasn't expecting anything but that. So let's
No, I'm
go
doing all right.
on. You know, I'm at one time he's going to be talking so much you're going to like, oh my goodness.
Well, it's not gonna be later on.
Well, he ain't gonna be. He's gonna be talking, but I'm like, he's really gonna be talking about something. We're gonna get one subject that's gonna really hit him, and we're gonna say, "Oh my goodness, he's talking. Oh my goodness, he's talking." It's gonna be so nice to hear him talk, you know, because all of a sudden they sit up there and say, you know, the McCains are really mean. They got this boy just running the board, and he don't say nothing. They don't let him talk. That's not it, people. It's not. We don't let him talk. He just doesn't say anything. But again, welcome to Let's Stay Together Talk, and to Soar Radio, 2-time Stellar Award winner for Best Internet Station of the Year. Before we go on, tomorrow, make sure you check out the JD Morning Show at 6 to 9 a.m. That's with Justin Francis, Dewan is Justin Dewan Francis, or just Justin Francis, and his sidekick, Dewan.
Is Dewan?
Yeah. And his sidekick Kenny be on there with some special guests and people on the show. Always a great show. Check him out on the JD Morning Show every Wednesday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. It is a good show. Talk about a lot of great things, and you definitely don't want to miss it. So let's go on, baby, with our Christian Reel. What we talking about?
Waiting for God to bring you to your destiny. I know for some people that wait is a long time, and it could be only 2 days.
Yeah, you know, and you're right, and that's basically what I was talking about. You know, as people, we are extremely impatient. We don't want to wait for anything. We don't want to really put any work into it. We want everything to be right now. You know, you know that song, I want to be rich. You know, everybody, we want to be rich. We want to have, you know, we want to be taken care of. We want to be able to do things, go places. And we don't want to wait for anything at all. We don't want to put in that old days in the 60s and, you know, pretty much to the 70s, that blue collar worker who would work hard, as Donna Summer used to say. I'm going to use this parallel of Donna Summer, even though she was talking about something else.
Right.
When she said she works hard for the money. We used to work hard for the money, but now people want things instantly right away. We want to be the lottery winner, but we don't want to go through anything to get what we're looking for. My boy said it real good, you know. He said, I go to work. That was Kool Moe Dee. He said, I go to work. I go. That's what he said. I go to work. But now we don't want to do that. We want everything right away, baby. We want it to be almost like the I Dream of Jeannie, that Jesus just comes and does everything for us. Now, I'm talking about people in general, but when we come back to Christians, we're the same way. We want God, we want Jesus to be able to give us some. I'm most of us, gotta be honest, it's Christian Real, right? Christian Real. Most people have came to God because they're in a state where they're depressed or they're not doing good.
Or they're incarcerated, right?
They're incarcerated, okay. And they feel that coming to Christ is going to change their position. You know, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all other things be added unto you. You know, seek and you give it unto you. You know, look and you should find. All those wonderful things. Knock and the door should be open. Seek, knock, you know, everything. We want to seek, knock, door be open,
Pound
everything. We don't want the door to be open. We want to just hit it and it opens up with, you know, the leprechaun money of gold. We want all of those things. But there's a problem with that, baby. And before I continue to go on, I want you to talk about that. There's a problem with that. It's something that we don't want, that we need to do in order to get to the point where God can bring us into our destination.
You said there's a problem.
There's a problem with that, of us wanting right away and not, you know, and just, you know, we just think we, you know, knock and the door should be seeking. You should find.
The genie
you know,
in the
yeah,
bottle.
the genie in the bottle analogy. You know, that's what we think. But there's a problem with that. that we don't understand that God is calling us to do, but we don't want to do it the way God wants.
That's where the lack of patience come in.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like you was just saying with all of that, this is a generation of let's nuke it. I'm putting it in the microwave. I want it done now. As that commercial say, I want my money now. I want it now.
It's my money, and I want it now.
Right. It doesn't happen that way. And forgive us, God, for even putting it that way, because a lot of us only go to God when we want something. It's like you're not studying with him. You're not praying. You're not seeking him out. You're barely going to church since, streaming is the biggest thing going now until we fully open up. But yet, it's like, I need this. So when is my big break going to come? As you said, Kumo D. You got to put in the work. I thought that was Big Daddy Kane.
Nope.
But whoever it was, you got to.
It's Kumo D. What do you mean, whoever it was? I just told you, woman.
You have to put in your work to get what you want. You have to have that faith over fear. You can't just do the genie in the bottle thing and rub it 3 times to make 3 wishes, because it doesn't work that way.
Right.
But how it does work, believe me, we are living witnesses for this, is that you seek him out, you draw close to him, you pray, you study, you read your Bible. And that seemed like a lot, but when you constantly in it, it's part of your normalcy of life.
Right.
And once it become your normalcy of life, then you're so accustomed to it. When God keep on blessing you, and I'm not saying you'll be cursed or doomed if you don't, but if you're waiting for God to bring you to your destiny, you have to let him lead you to your destiny.
Right.
And the only way you could do that is seek him out and study his word, for he could show you what your destiny is, because everyone's life have a blueprint to it. Unfortunately, we don't know that the blueprint main book is the Bible that tells you everything. So if you want to know what your destiny is, Red, if you really want to know what it is and your purpose in life, pick up the Bible and study it. Or be smart enough to get with people who know the word and listen to them. But you could study what they're saying, and then you could read it for yourself to make sure they are accurate.
And the Bible says, study to show thyself approved. But here's the thing. The problem with this I dream of genie process that we have as Christians, we don't want to go through the process that God has developed for us to receive our destiny. Mm-hmm. We want it now. Like you said, it's my destiny, and I want it now. Mm-hmm. We don't want to go through the process. And let me just say this. There are some people who have been successful in the name of the Lord, mm-hmm. who didn't go through the process. And the only success that they received was the success that they put into it, not the destiny that God had prepared for them. Mm-hmm. And what happens is, because what they were looking for was to be successful in Christ Jesus, instead of knowing the destiny that God has for them, Satan is able to fool a lot of us to make us feel that our success is our destiny. But it's never that, because what we perceive as destiny, God has a process to make us get to that destiny. And some people might be rich and they feel that I've reached my destiny. Only thing you've been is successful in what you placed your time into. Mm-hmm. But you never placed your time in the destiny process that God has for you. And so what you received wasn't what God wanted you to have. It's what Satan made you believe that would make you successful in life.
Because that could fool you, because Satan have his own plan for your life too. He would make sure all of your riches and glory is there to give him glory. Half the time when people make it up there in life and say they are successful people, mm-hmm. they forget, as we always say, the little people, or they forget, do you know God was the one who actually pulled the strings to get you to where you are, and mm-hmm. you don't give him any glory. Yeah. It's always, let me give them the other people the glory and stuff. Because like I said, Satan could play that role too. He could make sure you got everything you want, but you lose your soul.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that there are some people, some of us, who would never give up the process of our destination, because our process of our destination made us the person that we are today. And see, the problem is with going through that process of your destination, God doesn't promise you riches in that process.
Right.
God doesn't promise you joy in that process. God doesn't promise you an easy way in that process. He's promising you the destiny that he has for you. And so when you go through that process and it becomes rough sometimes, because I went through the process, and there were some times that early in our relationship, and we talked about it before, I was unemployed so many times, I thought my middle name was unemployment, because every job that I went to, somehow the thing closed. And I'm thinking, wow, this is not helping me. But the process of having faith in God allowed me to go somewhere, pray to God, and then 3 days later have a job. But I had to go through the process of believing in God with faith and not allow the destiny he had to me to be removed because I didn't like the process.
You said something that made me think. We always think our destiny is financial gain. I reached my destination. I reached my destiny. I succeeded. But God has something for everyone. That's saying what is for you is for you. I think about Moses with that. You have to give up something. You might have thought that with Moses and everything that he was living this great life, the prince, the Pharaoh, and he gave all of that up for his destination or his destiny that God had laid out for him, was to set his people free, to help them. That analogy just sums up everything we're talking about to me, waiting for God to bring you to your destiny. And I believe Moses might have been 40 years old or so, that beforehand Moses was riding it out, just knowing he going to be the king of his nation over there in Egypt. But God had other plans for him, and for him to give up those riches and just life at his hand, just anything he want, to just go from riches to rags instead of rags to riches. But as we know, he was rich in what he was doing.
Yeah. And that's the thing about it, is that we don't want to go through that process because it's going to cause us to have faith in what God is calling us to be. And it may not be in line with what we think we should be or we want to be. I wanted to be a pastor of a church. I got offers from some churches. None of them was in the United States, surprisingly. Istanbul, Pakistan. I think China wanted us to come out there at one time. And Brenda was saying no, no, and no. And, but I never had a thought process that God was going to put me on the airways as a person talking about it through here. When he said, I'm going to have you, the pastor of the airways, I'm like, I ain't never done no radio show, anything like that. But I had to go through a process to find out where God wanted me to be instead of where I wanted to be. And what happens a lot of times is that we don't want to waiting for God to bring us into our destiny, because our destiny takes longer than what we want. And there may be something shorter in our life that's going to bring us success and happiness, that we say, well, I can take this instead of going what God wants to do. But God, you can't have two masters. You can't say, give me this now and I'll wait until I can get to my destiny. We don't want to go through the destiny, and then we don't want to wait for the destiny to manifest. And that happens a lot of times to where the point people are sad and miserable. Like, I didn't get into this religion thing and ain't nothing changed. It even seems like it's getting worse. God ain't doing nothing. I'm still sad. My husband still don't want to be with me. My job still ain't paying me no money. I still can't pay my bills. I still ain't got enough money to get food on the table. I can't go nowhere. I'm at home all the time. Despite COVID, I'm home all the time. We have all of these things that we want to complain about, not realizing that God is placing us through a process.
A pruning process.
A pruning process. He's getting us ready for what he has designed for us. And yet, we are impatient. We don't want to go through that process because it's taking too much time. God, I already went through enough. That's why I came to you. What makes you think I want to wait more time? What makes you makes you think that I want to walk 40 years, in a circle in the wilderness? What makes you think that I want to go through with some of the people in the Bible? I don't want to go through this. I don't want to wait for a good husband. So I'm gonna pick me a bad one. And we'll say something like, well, God brought him in my life. No, that's not the process that God has for you. You chose him. So now when he doesn't meet up to the standards that you wanted, you followed your process of what you felt that your destiny in God was supposed to be, not God's process of saying, no, wait until I bring him to you. Okay. You have to wait for that. I'm sure I can say this, that Brenda had to wait through the process for me to come into her life, and I hope I'm a blessing.
You are.
That we've been married going on 27 years next week. But she had to wait through that process. Everybody she met wasn't a part of God's destiny for her life. And what happens a lot of times with women, I'm talking to women specifically, you want to move God to who you like instead of letting God choose who he has designed for you. And when you say, God, I want him, okay, well, go ahead and pick him up. Go ahead and get him. Yeah, he's going to be okay for about a year or two. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to be honest. We're always honest on the show. I made that mistake. I made the mistake. I married somebody and God told me.
Life before Brenda.
Terrible. Life before Brenda. But he told me that it would not work. It wouldn't even last for 2 years. That marriage was over in one. I decided to go with what I liked. See, when I'm preaching about something, we're talking about something, I'm going to use me an example if I'm an example. Because there's no greater person to use an example, but the examples that God has placed in you to help other people to reach their destiny. I made that mistake. And I said to God, I want the person who's going to love me for me. Now, you know how hard it is for Brenda to love me for me. we could do a whole show on that. But I'm just saying, there are some people that will never walk away from the trials and tribulation of their destiny because they know the process of their destiny, because they know that is God pruning them, as you said, to receive the blessings of what he has designed for them. But there are some of us who don't want to wait. We want to move forward and receive what we want and call it success, even though it wasn't God's design for your destiny.
I'm telling you, wait on the Lord. Don't make your own decisions of what, because I have plenty of friends, and I'm saying that will prey on married men, that they would get this man away from his wife. And it's like, are you serious? I mean, back in the day, I had those friends at my job that was doing that. Well, he's miserable with her. Okay, girl, whatever. But the thing is, you really think God's going to bless that? You're surely wrong. Like I said, the devil walks the same path, because I couldn't believe it that, with the story of Job, that made me start thinking how the devil went to him and said, you could do everything to Job except this. And I'm like, wait a minute, they negotiate about our lives? I mean, we put it lightly, but it happens. And that's the thing. It's like, sure, go on and do that. Pray for that married man. See if you get him. Then when you get him, what you going to get? And so the thing is, that's not your destiny. Some people put their stake in a marriage for that. It's like, this is what I want. This person will make me feel complete. Nobody could do that except God. And the thing with finding your destiny or waiting on it, yes, it takes a long time, a very long time to get to that point.
It could possibly take a long time.
Yeah. It could be a long time in our head, 1 week. Yeah. We want it now. I want it in 30 seconds, just like I just knew something in the microwave. But you can't do that. You can't always get what you want in that instant. So waiting on God does take patience. And it takes you, Teach Reverend Rick McCain Tell the truth, says Evelyn Eccles.
Okay.
Hey, Evelyn Eccles. But the thing that get me is that you have to wait on God, because if God have not spoken to you, and if you're close enough to God, you would know his voice. You would hear his voice like a mother could hear her child's voice in a crowd. You would know it. And when he tell you this is good, you should do that, or this is bad, then you should adhere him. But a lot of us, we take that move without him.
Yeah. And you know, the thing about it is that when we're talking about waiting for God to bring us into our destiny, you have to understand that there's a process, and you have to be patient enough for God to bring you into it. And God is going to do everything in his time frame that is going to be beneficial for you. It may not seem like it at the beginning, but if you just hold on to God's unchanging hand, God is going to make a way for you. But you have to trust him and not be fooled by success that you want or you see others having, and you say, I want that. That's not what God has for you.
And it's easy to fall in that trap.
It is. And what will happen is that you will choose that and start going into that and saying it was what God gave you, and it wasn't. And there are people who are ultra successful, but they missed the destiny of God because they decided to go with what they wanted instead of what God designed.
Just like those people, I always use singers are entertainers are the best ones for that. Usually they start off in the church, you know, the good powerhouse singers start off in that church, and then they, according to them, they elevate out of singing the gospel and then do the R&B or pop or whatever, and they hit their plateau, successful, being big people and everything. Then they crash down, probably some to alcohol or drugs or whatever. They crash down, then they go back to the Lord and stuff. But the thing is, they miss their destiny. They figure, I'm a superstar, that's my destiny, but that's not what God had planned for you.
Because unfortunately in this world, singing worldly music gets you more fame, more success, more money than you do when you're singing godly music. But if that is not what God designed for you, sure, he may let you go ahead and receive that success. But if that's not what God has designed for you, you not only mess up your blessing, you don't know how other people are going to be blessed because of that process that God has taken you through. It has to be what God has designed for you. If we're talking to Christians now, those of you all who haven't received Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you can do it now. Say, I received Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, and I'll live my life according to his will. Those simple words right there allows you to receive Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, and for him to live in you for eternity. However, you cannot move God's process to your success.
And you, like you said, your process, his process to your success. You can't be in control, because a lot of us think we are in control of your own future. No matter whether you believe in God or not, a lot of people think, I'm in control of this. I set my destiny. I set my future. You don't. But see, the thing is, because you don't understand how it works, you will always believe that. And you will always believe that inside you will have this deep-rooted thing of, I want what they have, because I know I could be just as successful. But that's not what God have for you. You will never reach that. And if you do, you will never be satisfied with it.
Okay. We're going to go on. Hope you all enjoyed that part of Christian Real, waiting for God to bring you into your destiny. Remember, it's a process, and you must allow God's process to bring you to that destiny. If you do not, you've only received what you were looking for, not what God has designed for you. Speaking of that, we're going to have to go on and play some music right now. We're going to have some good songs here. You know, sometimes when you get to that process, you've got to do what Marvin Sapp says. While you're through the process, you got to praise him in advance. And of course, I had to come up with the song because Brenda was acting like she don't know who it is. I got to play Kool Moe Dee, I Go to Work. Because that's what you've got to allow God to do, to go to work for you. And then we got Mesa and Inside My Dreams. While you're dreaming about what you want to be, what you're designed to be, what your process or your destiny is. Sometimes you just got to live inside your dreams and have faith that God will deliver. Hey, this is Rick McCain, along with my baby, my girl, my boo, author Brenda McCain and LP Productions. Listen up to these songs and join us on Facebook. We'll be right back. LP, do your thing. So go ahead, Miss Lady.
Oh, this story is interesting. Exclusive. Dr. Dre's eldest
No,
daughter.
we're not talking about that. That's what the heaven, what the hell.
Oh,
Stay with the program now.
Wait.
Jesus.
Oh, I'm sorry. That sure was. Lord Jesus.
We got to get us
It's a
somebody
good
on
story.
here
I want
that
to
actually
get to
knows
it.
what they're doing on this show.
I
Hey, everybody
know.
on Facebook, we want to just say hello to you all while we come on here.
I'm ready.
And thank you all for being there. Hey, so let somebody know we're out there. Wes, how you doing? I know I saw Miss Echoes is out there, and we saw Cassie out there. Tell some people to join us for about
Anna
15
West.
minutes. Who?
Anna West out there.
I see Wes, and Anna's with him as well. But baby, what you got for us?
Businesses, Black and Latino communities hit hardest by property tax increases. Treasurer's Office report shows the internally broken system. Now, we already know it was broken, but it's really showing now because Cook County property tax increases, Rick, in our Black and Latino suburbs. Now, according to certain people, that's just the way it is. No, that's not just the way it is. In the West Suburban Bellwood, the total amount of property taxes billed to homeowners went up 28.5% during 2019 and 2020. In South Suburban Ford Heights, the commercial property tax went up 42%. Why is that?
It might be just because of the low income places there. They need to do more to get money for those cities. As unfortunately, they want to raise people's taxes because what happens a lot of times is that those raise of the taxes, people can't pay it and they wind up losing their homes and they're going to foreclosures because they can't pay that. And so what happens at that point, it multiplies the foreclosed homes, abandoned homes in these communities because they're trying to raise money through the taxes and they need to find other ways to do that. We've always known that, in African American areas, the taxes, are probably a little out of whack a little bit, but there are suburbs that pay a lot of taxes on there. But most of those people that move to those locations can pay those taxes, and they usually pay those taxes through even their mortgages, or if they own the house, they can make monthly payments toward the taxes as well. But the problem is that when you hit low income places like that and you raise up their taxes, it's already hard for them to pay for the home itself. Now when you raise it up and they may not have the money to meet that demand of that higher tax. 28% is extremely high. You're gonna cause more depravity in that location because now you're going to have more people moving out. You're going to have abandoned homes. You're going to have, welfare in situations there, unemployment. It's just going to cause a bad situation all around. And so I think what you need to do, especially in the state of Illinois, is to look at some of these low-income places where these property taxes are coming in and do some kind of assessment where you can lower it or provide some kind of a government relief to help them with the new taxes.
I know, where was it? It was a comment from Wes and Anna saying that where they live at, the taxes are going up higher and higher, and they live pretty close to Bellwood.
Yeah.
Now, also, if you're in a great school system, the taxes are high. The property tax is high. We know that. But this just seemed a little, different because we know these areas they're talking about are mainly Black and Latino areas.
But in white areas like that, they have stores and businesses in there that can offset a lot of those higher taxes. So they'll pass along those taxes to those stores and those businesses and those malls that have come in there to kind of bring the taxes down. They may be still high compared to other places, but it's not as high as it could be because of those stores. Well, the unfortunate thing about Black communities, we live in like a store desert. There's not a lot of stores in those areas. They don't want to go in the areas because they say the black might be stealing, there's too much crime and stuff like that, and they make their decisions not want to go there. We heard a situation just recently where Whole Foods didn't want to come into a black area because they were saying that people wasn't going to buy from them. I thought that was asinine, but they made that decision. When you don't have stores like that and businesses like that in there that can offset those taxes, then it does hurt the community even more.
Yeah, so sad but true. I'm gonna leave it at that because they said that by the end of this month, the taxes are going to continue to go up, and a lot of people are going to be driven out of the Cook County area.
Give a shout out to Mary Silas out there as well.
Hey, Mary. Like she was saying, hey to Mama Eccles too. But I love the fact
Chris
that we
Bass,
had
all my boys
everybody
out there. The bass is back.
Hey, Chris Bass.
Now I know I'm living large.
Okay, well, living large because we want everyone to stay alive. This next one is U.S. soon hit more than 200,000 new coronavirus cases per day. Now, people still
Go ahead.
People are still not paying attention to this at all. These cases are steadily rising. People still don't want to get vaccinated. And I believe we had a special message that was sent to us that, what was it, that the people is going to be mandated this Friday that you have to wear your mask. People are complaining still about wearing their masks.
I mean, you said it went up to was it 200? You said 200.
200,000 new coronavirus cases per day.
Yeah, I mean, and they're saying it's going to reach that again, which is, is almost to the point of, the beginning of COVID, which is, it's just ridiculous that we're fighting with this mask situation. It is the mask and taking the vaccination are the only two things we have to remove COVID, to stop any other additional strands. They had Delta. Now you got the Lambda.
Say what?
We talked about that the last time.
Oh,
Lambda.
okay. We was going to the
supposed
Greek
to be there.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we don't know how this thing is going to continue to morph into something else because people are fighting about wanting to wear masks. You hear from schools, they tell me, I don't want my child wearing a mask because it might, cause an issue with their health. Well, dying causes an issue with their health too. I don't, they're saying it right now that, a lot of states, only 13 states are accurately giving, information about the cases of children in their states. So we have 50 states in the United States, so if only 13 is giving it, we're way below the accurate number of how many children are getting sick from this. So now this thing is hitting our children, and we still don't want to get to a point where we want to say, hey, this is ridiculous. And again, president's going to have to mandate this. It's going to have to be a mandate where everyone has to get, I don't care what state, we need to have a moratorium that this is going to be a mandate because people are not going to do it any other way.
Face coverings are required for everyone. This goes into effect starting Friday for all indoor public settings. Now,
where is this at?
This is all over.
I don't know
Illinois,
if it's not. It's all over Illinois because I know there's a lot of states, especially a lot of those southern states. There's one southern state, and I think it may be Texas, where they're going to make it they're trying to make it a felony offense if you try to force somebody to wear a mask. I mean, how stupid is this? It's just ridiculous to some of the things that they're doing. It's ironic.
It is, and it's sad that we're still going through this for these numbers, as they were saying. These are numbers we seen back in January and February when people were still skeptical about the vaccination. But, of course, now we're in our halfway point of August, about to go into September, going through our last quarter of the year. So the thing that gets me is we're still going back to square root one, going back to the space again, and it's going to get worse before it get better, they say. Like a lot of people are on the fence thinking, well, they're not going to shut us back down, but now they're forcing people to wear a mask. If you want to stay alive, what is the big deal? And like a lot of people, if it haven't happened to them or anyone they know, they don't care about this. Until it happened to them, it's like, okay, let me wake up and put this little mask on to shut these people up. No, you're not doing us no favor. We will hope you are, but with that attitude, do yourself a favor and stay alive. Now, Mr. Bass said the Delta variant strain is out here in full effect. The mask issue continues to divide us. Certain people have made it into a political issue and about rights. How about the right to live? And I
Amen.
totally agree with him.
Preach, Bass, preach. I definitely
Preach,
agree with
preach,
that.
preach.
But the thing about it, okay, I said it. You don't have to copy what I say.
Preach, Bass. Or do I need to say it different?
No, just this is a man's world.
That's what you need to have over here one time. I
That would be
crack
interesting.
up.
He is hilarious. I love working with him. But we're talking about Chris Bass. For those who don't know, we used to work at a radio station with him, and we really enjoyed. We used to go back to back with him sometimes, and he'd be on our show and be on his, and it was just great. So I do miss
Yeah.
those days. But it's a sad situation. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it's going to change. I mean, it seems like we're going to be bringing COVID into 2022, and that is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Who would have thought back in 2020 we would be still talking about COVID almost 2 years?
And we probably still gonna be talking about 2 years later.
Yeah, I'm sure, but
unfortunately.
I'm sure we will be, because even if things start clearing up now, it's going to take several months before we get back to a point where people are going to start feeling, 100% sure about, comfortable with this situation with COVID.
He said he missed those days as well, Rick.
What you got next? How we doing on
Well,
time, LP?
We're gonna continue off with this one because this next
Keep
story,
talking. Keep talking.
this next story,
5 minutes.
that the United States to recommend COVID vaccine boosters at 8 months.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people who don't even get the vaccination, this is something they really gonna complain about. So then I'm gonna have to go back and get another shot. You want to live another day, right? So you got to do what you need to do. And when it comes to that, experts are expected to recommend a COVID-19 vaccine booster for all Americans. Now, this is regardless of age, 8 months after they receive their second dose of the shot, to ensure lasting protection against the coronavirus as the Delta variant spreads across the country.
Yeah, I mean, and they're saying that, they're going to start off with people who have, bad immune systems, and then they're going to do people who are working in, hospitals and stuff like that to help
Right.
them. And then it's going to be for the elderly, which
Right, you
I'll
got your
probably
health.
fall in that as well to get that. But, they're basically saying that most of the 3 vaccinations, they're showing a weaning off a little bit, and they want to be, more safer to make sure that you need that booster shot within, 8 months. Now, they haven't started the process yet for that, but they're talking about that. And that's for all of the variants. So Pfizer, Minerva, I think I'm saying it wrong, but, and Moderna, thank you, and J&J, Johnson & Johnson, Moderna.
But yeah, when they do roll that out, it's supposed to go out to, like you said, the healthcare workers first, nursing home residents, and other older Americans.
But they're going to do it to the autoimmune people first. The people who, have autoimmune systems, they're going to be going first. And so, I mean, it's understandable. You kind of figured this was going to happen. It does make it a little bit crazy for people who haven't even taken their shots. Now, you need to, don't worry about a booster if you haven't taken a shot. Take your shot first. That's your booster, okay? Take your shot first. There's still, you want to get the 1 shot. That's great. If you want to, you feel more protected with the 2 shot, do that. But take your shots, because if we're going to be going into the fall, we're going to be hitting 200,000 cases a day. Do you know that I saw on news that over 4 million people in the world has died from COVID?
And if
4
that's not alarming,
million. If that's not alarming, I want to talk about that when we come back, because I want to throw that 4 million out there. 4 million people dying from COVID is ridiculous.
yeah.
And it's a shame that people don't realize that this thing is real. I need to do some research. How much this thing has been around for 2 years, dude?
It's a shame on you if you haven't done your research.
Even if you was looking at see Spot run, see Spot get the vaccination. I mean, how How simple can it be? See Spot go to office. See Spot get vaccination. Spot's happy he got Spot's vaccination. Spot's still alive. Spot's looking at his friend who's not alive anymore because he didn't get the Spot vaccination. Spot goes to get his second shot. I mean, what do you need? I mean, really, what do you need? I just don't know. I don't know.
That's beautiful and well said right there. Because for those who don't understand the Spot thing, that was our era of learning how to read.
Like see Spot run. It's like
see Spot get that injection like he was saying.
Get the injection. Spot smart enough. Yeah, Spot goes to office. Spot goes to vaccination clinic. Spot gets tested. You know, come on now.
How many more minutes we have?
1 minute.
Okay. Hey, I just want to tell you all, definitely check us out on SOAR Radio as well. We appreciate you all being on here with us. We're going to be talking about when we come back, we're going to being home-centered. You got to understand what we're talking about this because a lot of people are living in houses where the center of their life is not their home. So we're going to talk about that. And Brenda's going to do a read-up on something that she wants to read up about this dance. We're going to start off with this thing with the vaccination shots real quick, and then we're going to go into this. We're going to do that. We're going to do this, and then we'll go into that. So give us a few minutes. Thank you all for listening. Tell somebody to come join us on SOAR Radio. Tell them to come. Hey, you don't want to listen to the radio? We love you to listen to SOAR Radio, 2-time Stellar Award winner for Best Internet Station of the Year. But also join us on Facebook. You can see the beautiful Brenda McCain. He's a little bit on the corner there. You don't see him as much. I don't know what happened. But he's moving in. And then you see me as well. I didn't even talk about that acupuncture I had today. Then
you can get it in.
We'll get that in there.
We got 10 seconds.
10 seconds. 10 seconds. 6-second Ducky Fresh. You're on.
Hey, Will Howard. Thanks for joining us.
2 seconds. You got time. You're on.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to Let's Stay Together Talk Show. Your host, Reverend Rick McCain, along with my baby, my girl, my boo, author Brenda McCain and LP Productions. You know the funny thing about it, LP, is I don't care if you put a timer on there or you tell Brenda something. She's just going to say what she wants to say, and it doesn't matter that we had like 2 seconds to go in there. She's going to shout, "Hi, Will Howard." And, you know, we're on Facebook as well as SOAR Radio, and she sees somebody she knows, and she just shouts out the name. We still on radio, girlfriend. I mean, so you know, you just can't shout out and do what you want to do. I can't tell you who the soccer team. I mean, you got to realize we have a time frame that we got to work at. And speaking of time frame, let me stay on that time frame. Welcome back, everybody, to Let's Stay Together show. I'll give a shout out to my boy Will Howard as well. That son of theirs that is just doing that Olympics is just ultra. I mean, they've raised some great kids, and they're a great example of a marriage couple to show people how a marriage life should be and how family should be. And it's great because we're talking about being home-centered. The Howards are very home-centered, so that's a great example that we can use as well. Hey, before we go into that, for those of you all on SOAR Radio who do not see us on Facebook, we talk about some subjects on Facebook because we can't play the music. So sometimes join us there on Facebook. But that's what we were talking about real quick. Let's talk about one of the subjects we were talking about on Facebook.
United States to recommend COVID vaccine boosters at 8 months. Biggest thing going on right now, people are still not getting vaccinated, and they do not want to wear their masks. Now, you were stating a number. Yeah. It was clearly just alarming.
Yeah, but right now they're saying, you know, we're getting to the point where it's going to be almost 200,000 cases a day. In the world alone, there's been over 4 million people who have died from COVID. 4 million. That's an alarming number. You have 4 million. You have some places where there's some states where they may have more than 4 million people, but 4 million deaths is an alarming thing. I don't care what anybody thinks. And so people who are still sitting around saying that, you know, they don't think that this stuff is real or they need to do some research is getting to be kind of ridiculous. Take the shot.
Yeah, please take the shot. For you could stay alive. You can help others to stay alive. If you love anyone in your life, or if you just not a selfless person, take the shot.
Yeah, take the shot. And I was laughing about it. I mean, people talking about they need to do research. I mean, hey, for those of us who remember, See Spot Run.
Right.
I mean, you know, look at that book. Spot now has a book out saying, See Spot get vaccination. See Spot go to clinic. See Spot get shot. C-Spot see his friends who didn't get the shot. C-Spot see his friends on the numbers of people who are no longer alive.
Right.
C-Spot go
at the
get his
funeral.
second shot. I mean, what do you need? C-Spot run and get your vaccination shot, because you don't want to wait. They tell you all the time, once you get the COVID, the shot is not going to help you. People want to say, I want the shot now. No, it's to prevent it. Not once you got it to help you. It doesn't do that. It doesn't work that way.
No.
And I just can't understand. We were talking also that there are only 13 states right now who are accurately giving numbers of how many kids who have died from COVID. So there's got to be, what is that? 30? I don't know. What I said 13. So you go to 50. That's got to be like 37 states who are not, reporting accurately about the deaths of children. This thing now is hitting our children. The Delta virus is hitting that, and they have this other one coming out called the Lambda. We don't know what that's going to do, but when you have 4 million people who have died from COVID, I don't know what other research you need to do but C-Spot run to the vaccination place and get your shot. It's going to be ridiculous, and we want people, just go get your shots. Stop arguing about why you don't want to get it. It's unconstitutional. I don't want it to mess up my health. You don't want it to mess up your life. So please go out there and get your vaccination shot. Tell us about this one commercial you got here, or announcement you have, and then we'll go into our next subject.
Next Wednesday on August the 25th at 7:30 p.m., this group called Deeply Rooted Dance Theater gears up for their fall performance, and they want you to witness and experience artistry, humanity, and joy at its best. This is a free event, people, a free event for lawn seating. Seating in the pavilion is with a donation from $25 to $1,000. Now, this is at the pavilion downtown. So you could check it out at their website. I do not have the website address on here, but you could check it out for just Google Deeply Rooted Dance Theater, and you could pull up everything you need to know about this dance company known for uniting modern classical American and African American traditions. Now, because, theater and everything's been closed, they're coming back, and they're coming back with a great story by the gospel artist Donald Lawrence. He's affiliated with this. So, a deeply rooted evening for Chicago's healing, the Goshen. So, if you know your Bible or you want to brush up on this is going to be next Wednesday at 7:30 on August the 25th. So join us, because we will be there. Join us at the Deeply Rooted Dance Theater.
Okay, so give that to Little Philip so he can find the email website so he can put it on there as well. I want to just do one thing real quick. I got a chance. I don't really talk about it lately, but for the last 6 to 7 weeks, I have been struggling with the sciatic nerve pain in my upper right buttocks. Yeah, I'm grown. I can say that. There's been kind of, the nerve has been hitting me in my leg, and went through some, taking some medication that hasn't worked, therapy that hasn't worked. So I went to get, what is it? Acupuncture. He's trying to correct me. You see that, don't you? Acupuncture.
You said, what is it he's saying?
But he's, okay, you did it once. You don't have to do it twice.
Well, you said it wrong
Don't
again.
be belligerent. Okay, just because I said it wrong, you said it right. How do you say it?
Acupuncture.
Okay, so don't let me have to acupuncture you.
I'm sure it feels good.
I went to this place, and I actually saw this, I think, on Fox News, but it was so funny to me because I think the place is called Moon Rabbit Acupuncture.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I mean, it's funny because I'm going there, I'm thinking like, they must just gonna give me some weed and I'm gonna be fine, because Moon Rabbit, somebody was smoking weed when they said that. I hope they ain't listening. I'm gonna give you a pub, but when I saw that first, when I saw Moon Rabbit Acupuncture, I'm like, they're just gonna give me some weed, and I'm gonna smoke it or chew it or something for 20 minutes, and I'm gonna be fine, and then my next session will come there. But basically, it wasn't that. I got to ask the owner, because I talked to her, where you get this name from? Because Chinese do have some different names. And, acupuncture is usually a Chinese thing that they do. And I did it, and I was shocked a little bit, concerned because I never had a needle stick in me like that. But I mean, it was very relaxing. It was very nice. A young lady named Nicole, she did an excellent job. So if you all going through some pain and stuff like that, well, I mean, this thing has been keeping me up so much that I think I probably for the last 6 to 7 weeks probably haven't slept past 2:30, and I'm going to bed at 10:30. So I haven't had much sleep. So right now you're hearing me talk, but the other part of me is trying to go to sleep right now. I'm trying to go to sleep. Like Kumo do say, I go to work, I go to sleep. That's
you
what I want to
go to sleep.
I want to go to sleep, but it's called Moon Rabbit. I got that right? Moon Rabbit. It's not a place you can just go get you some weed. It's not a medicinal place. It's none of that. You go through the acupuncture, and it's really nice. I'm gonna be going back again for another session, and I'm even bringing Brenda along.
Yeah, and I'm going for my session for my plantar fasciitis, whatever you call it. I call it a pea fish. I just pray because the shot didn't work, the gel treatment didn't work, and let's see if this will work because I miss wearing my heels.
And we can't say these words. Public school doesn't really help you with some of these words like
fasciitis.
So
Mary, if you out there,
blame
break
public
it down
school
for
that.
me.
Y'all need to teach these kids a little bit more fancier words. Instead of see spot run. Heck, I don't want to see spot run.
But we just said we want to see spot run right to the fascination thing.
I need to say those high sophisticated words sometimes, and sometimes my tongue, gets a little caught. But hey, it was called Moon Rabbit Acupuncture. Did I say that right?
Yes.
And so, definitely if you're looking for something, it's a healing for some, situation to help you out, it's a great place to go to. If you need the information, just let us know.
Or we just need to find Shango.
He doesn't do that. But let's go on to what we're going to talk about in our Let's Talk About It.
Being home-centered.
Being home-centered. Baby, can I ask you what you think that is, or you just want me to start?
Being focused on what's supposed to be your priorities at home. A lot of us get away from being, putting our home as our first priority, our wife, our spouse, our children, and what's going on, because we're too busy building our kingdom, building our, making our imprint in this world. So you bring it on home here. What is home centered? And
like I said this, I don't know if they're still on the line or not, but the Howard family, Sean and his wife, I can't think of her name. I'm sorry. Will and Sean. I said I can't think of her name. I can't think of his name.
You said Sean.
I said Sean. See, I'm telling you, public school messes you up sometimes. I must have had a pain that just went up to my leg. But Will and Sean, the Howards, they are fantastic. And forgive me, I'm just going through some sleep deprivation right now. They are fantastic. And I'm not joking with you. It's been a while since I've had some sleep. I'm telling you. And Brenda, don't want to, do the love making thing, and stuff like that.
My mother's on here.
That's okay. I was grown. You're like, hey, you can't get some sleep. Get away from me. Because I'd be sitting up there. I want you. Get away, yo, fool. But Will and Sean Howard are a great example of being home-centered. They make sure that they take care of their children and care about them. But a lot of times in life, we get so driven to be successful, we forget about taking care of the home. And so let's talk about this, telling people to definitely to get back to being home-centered. Now, some people think that COVID religiously was God saying he wants you to be God-centered again. Some people don't agree with that, but some people say it's a way of God getting us to center ourselves into the Word of God. But I'm going to say this and use this, that COVID should have been a situation where we decided to get more centered into our home and start being concerned about what our children and what your wife or what your husband is doing or what's best for the house. Because when we take care of the house, it's better. There's an old saying that says, happy wife, happy life. But you need to have a happy home. In a lot of cases, and we were listening to the song, a lot of cases, people do things to be happy because they're not happy. I hope you heard that. A lot of times people do things to be happy because they're not happy. Let me give you an example. People who are alcoholics, who drug addictions, are unhappy, so they do things to make themselves happy. And those things do give them a temporary joy of happiness, but it doesn't center them to the happiness that they were looking for. And in a lot of cases in our homes, we was listening to the song, "You gonna make me love somebody else if you keep on treating me the way you do." That is a person is saying, I'm not happy with how you're treating me, so you're going to make me find happiness somewhere else. And in a lot of cases, what happens, because we're not happy, we look for happiness in the wrong place. We're starting to search for it in the wrong place. So there's a husband out there who's going to be on Cheetahs soon because they feel that there's more happiness somewhere else than centering their happiness in their relationship. There is a daughter out there who's going to choose the wrong man looking for love in all the wrong places because she's not receiving that centered love there. And in a lot of cases, we get so busy trying to take care of the home, we don't take care of the house.
Okay.
You know, and so we need to find ourselves again to center ourselves from a point where we can go out from, not out from. Hope you heard that. Places we can go out from. It's a center that we step out from. So we go out, we do our success from the center of our relationship. Jesus, you're the center of my joy. We do it from the center of our relationship, and then we move out to that, not move out from that, because we're not centered into our home. And that happens a lot with families. You get kids who are misguided because they're not receiving the love and the care that they need. Now, some of these little brats are just spoiled. They think they should get everything. But it's centering them. That's what I said about, I love about the Howards. I ain't heard nothing bad about the kids or anything like that. They care about their children.
That's their focus.
That's their focus. They care about their children. Will and Sean, great example of that. And if Salem's not using them that way, shame on Salem. But they're a great example for that. But Brenda, talk a little bit about why is it so important that we are centered in our household?
Well, for one,
put you on the spot, I know, but you can do it, girl.
No matter what you go through in this world, when you can have the struggles and stuff at work, at school, but when you come home, that's where your peace and your joy is supposed to be, especially if you have a family. If you're married with children, that should be your focus first. And then you branch out, like you were saying, into the world that you figure like, no matter how bad it gets to me on my job, I always could come home and find my joy with my wife and my children, that the life of my family is not in turmoil. And the reason it gets in turmoil is because everyone is too busy doing their separate things in life. And the kids, when they see the parents not paying them no attention, they're going to branch out to people who are going to pay them attention. And the people who's going to pay them attention are usually the ones that's pulling them into the game because they know they're seeking for something that they're not getting at home. They're going to pull them into the game. The female usually going to get with the wrong guy because dad, and I put this emphasis on the father, you hold a lot of weight with both sexes in your household. The little boy look at you to guide him into being a man. The little girl see you as her first love, and she wants to find someone to emulate you. If you're a good father, that's what you want her to have as a good man. But if you're not spending time and attention centered into your children, investing in them, that they're going to find investment elsewhere. Now, when it comes to your wife or your husband, whichever one, you got to balance that on out. Because you guys are the head of the household. It's God, the father, the wife, and the children. If you don't set that structure for your family, the chaos is going to break out. And then in the process, Rick, if you don't set that structure within your own marriage and balance it out. Because I'm trying to reach my empire, you're trying to reach your empire goal, and we're both missing the mark. And you can't do that. If you continue to do that and not be house or home center, your house is going to fall down like a stack of cards.
Yeah, or like a sack of bricks.
Well, cards are easy to flick down. So.
Yeah, but bricks, once they fall, those that it can hurt. And basically, I'm saying, paraphrasing off what you're saying, is that when it falls, it's very difficult to bring that relationship back. It can be done in the name of Jesus Christ, But and let's talk about it. I mean, we've got to understand that there are some people that haven't accepted Jesus Christ as their Savior, and so we want you to do that. But you need to develop a center where your children can grow from, where your relationship can grow from. Even when you're dating someone to get to married, there needs to be a center where you both can grow from. We call it similarities, things that I like about them. But there's a center where we start, because what happens is that we take those things that we like about each other and we bring them together with each other to start a point or a center that we can start from to grow. And then it allows us to have a growing point to where we can now develop an understanding from that center to now provide more growth, fruit, that we can start having more things that we could branch from. But that center is where we start from. And then when you branch and get fruit, which means like having children, they know by looking at you, there's a place to start from. You laugh sometimes when your kids say, "Oh, get a room," because they see a mother love and affection. They laugh about it, but it's something that makes them center to understand this is what I'm looking for. You teach your daughter from that center what a man should be. You teach your son from that center what a man should be. You teach them what to receive and what not to receive. But if they're receiving negative, it doesn't mean that they're going to receive. They're going to look for positive. That's why you see a lot of times you hear this word, hurt people, hurt people. Well, people who have hurt will look for someone to hurt them. And you see this woman now in this bad relationship, and you find out that she was abused at home, or you see this child that's abusing, this man that's abusing his wife or his girlfriend because that's what he saw at home. That's where that's where that center is. Yeah. That's what they saw. So they're duplicating the same thing that they saw. And so if you're not being centered in your home to a point where you're teaching values that a person can grow from, positive values, things that they can grow from, then that center is going to be skewed to a point where the person believes that this is what love is, this is what I should receive, even though it's far from what they should receive as an individual.
Yeah, it's a lot, though, when it comes to being home center. If you're serious about being in a relationship with the people in your household, you have to be the one to step up to do that. I hate when a child have to leave a parent and just doing something right. Because I always felt as though you're the parent, you set the example. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just hard for me to grasp that because that's not the way it's supposed to have been officially done. But whatever it takes to bring the family together, because a child can open your eyes to so many things that, oh my God, I was missing this. And it's like, okay, you have children. When the world was normal and they had events at school and you had to try to make it and stop making excuses and say, I can't because of my job. No. Believe me, your boss will understand that if you say something about it because they're doing it for their kids. Now, they only going to do what you allow them to do. If you're not complaining and say, hey, I got a meeting, a teacher-parent conference, I have to see my child in this, they're not going to reach your mind and allow you to do it. If your wife is crying out to you, babe, we don't have a date night. We don't go anywhere because you out here trying to make the money to build this empire for us and everything. Most women basically say, I want the husband, not the empire.
Yeah.
And I know men are men, the ego thing, we got to have this in order to have that. But I always say, as long as we have the love and we could struggle together and not turn on each other, we could make things work.
And nobody wants to struggle. But you want to be able to have a relationship that's centered on love and commitment than you do on wealth. Because wealth can easily go away. But you want to have it centered on something that can sustain you, a solid foundation that can sustain not only you but sustain your children as well. What kind of sustainable wealth are you going to give them mentally instead of what kind of wealth you're going to give them financially, because they need that stability of seeing, a strength. With this, I always love when people say, they like our relationship. They like how we are. It had to be centered in something, and it was centered in God, following God, and then going from there and being that individual. It wasn't because I necessarily had that in my household, but I decided to allow God to lead me in that direction. So you got to make sure that you're being home centered, because it provides the stability, a foundation that is so strong that the gates of hell cannot prevail against it. The Bible tells us, that no weapon formed against us shall prosper. What is basically saying that weapons are going to come. But when you have a foundation that's centered on something strong enough to defeat those weapons, it's telling you that it will not prosper. And that basic weapon is Christ, Jesus Christ. But in this relationship, we want to say that love provides a strong foundation that your children and your children's children, the generations, will be able to live based on, because they saw the center of where you were, and you're hoping that they will follow that example. Hey, we're going to change things up a little bit around the 8 o'clock hour. Unfortunately, we won't have Stephen Best in the Best of Theater. He had a prior situation he has to attend to. And hopefully we'll have him back next week. But we're going to play some music, and then we're going to come back with What the Heaven, What the Hell, and then we're going to do something a little bit different. So we're going to go with the McCain Train request. We're going to have about 3 songs. I might play 3 songs. I might cut it off. But the songs we're going to play is I Sing by BBJ and Mary Mary. Then you're going to hear Wishing on a Star by Junior Walker and the All-Stars. Following up that with CeCe Wining's The Healing Part. Hey, this is Rick McCain along with my baby, my girl, my boo, author Brenda McCain. LP Production is in the house as well. Hey, join us on Facebook, y'all, where y'all listen to the music, and we'll be right back. Do your thing, LP. He probably already did it. He cut me off the last time because I heard the music before I finished.
Well, no, it's because I fade you out.
Yeah. You phase me out.
No, I fade you out.
Okay.
So when you're doing your, so there's no dead air.
Oh, okay.
Like when you're doing your thing, I turn the music on and it fades in and your mic turns off.
Sure.
Remember that.
He
No
cut me
dead
off.
air.
I'm just gonna tell him I'm phasing him out, but I'm just cutting him off. I don't want to hear that.
I'm tired of listening to him.
All right, everybody. Thank y'all again. I hope you all enjoyed that, because we definitely need to be home centered in our relationship, because it's the strong foundation of being centered in that house brings generational ability to walk on a foundation that's strong, and then something that can crumble. So we're going to go on with a couple of conversations that Brenda has here. That's the last one we have? Is that one there?
Just last.
Before we go on, so you got that last one. I'm going to talk about, we can talk about it, but I'm going to talk about Google. So we were driving here, and Google is thinking about doing something that people are concerned about, because people say they follow Google and examples that they do. A lot of people are working at home. And it's been very beneficial in a lot of ways to the companies as well as the individuals. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You don't have to worry about getting COVID. You don't have to protect places, buildings, and stuff like that. Companies don't have to spend a lot of money on stuff like that. And Google was, okay with their people staying at home at first. But now we saw something, I heard it on radio, that Google is thinking about reducing people who stay at home's salary by 25%. We got to talk about that on the radio. 25%. So that means a person who's making $100,000 with Google, their salary could be reduced to $75,000, all because they're staying at home. Now, baby, I thought that's ridiculous, because it's not like Google is paying for or any company is paying for my transportation to get there.
Unless they were, we don't know.
But they're not paying $25,000 of it.
Okay.
Come on now. I don't know anybody. If it costs you $25,000 to get to work, you need to be making more than $100,000. Okay. But to do something like that, I'm like, heck, are you kidding me? You're getting more production probably from me at home. I'm more, I feel more, relaxed, because I don't have to do the hustle and bustle of trying to go through, rush hour traffic to get here and back. But yet, for some reason, they're trying to set this trend that, consumers are concerned about, because they figure, when Google does it, other companies may follow. You're gonna reduce my salary because I'm working at home. Makes no sense.
It doesn't make sense, but the world right now doesn't make sense, and they figure we could do whatever we want to do. If you want to keep your job, if you want to keep this nice, lucrative, cushy job, you need to come on up in here. If you choose to stay at home, to 25%, you said?
Yeah.
Now, they're giving you a option. It's your choice to pick the right one, what you want to do. It's unfair. To me, that's more unfair than what people are claiming is unfair with making you wear a mask.
Yeah.
That's saving their lives. And a lot of people will complain more about that because you're hitting them in their pockets than the mask thing. And that's you hitting them on their life with the mask thing.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is that I think it's kind of asinine for Google to even suggest that, because it's almost saying somehow that Google is losing money by people staying at home.
Mm-hmm.
And that by being there on the premises to do the same job that the person can do at home is financially causing them some money. Now, if that was the case, that they need people physically at the location, which you'd be wondering, Google is a high technology place. You would think that they would have the capability of people working anywhere remotely. But if you're saying that someone needs to physically be there, and based on them not physically being there, I'm losing over 25% of my productivity because they're not there, then I can understand that. But you can't say that. You're not losing that much per person. They want to do this 25% per person, not 25% across the board where, like, some people get like 1% or 2.9% of the, deduction. This is 25% per person. There's no way you could do that other than you're trying to sit there and make this thing political by trying to make people come back to work by taking their salaries away from them. And the bad thing about it is that if I go back to work, I'm going to be spending more money to get there. Yet you're not giving me more money to come here, but you're going to take money away from me if I don't. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's penalizing for some. It's like penalizing someone, as you said, for wearing a mask to save their lives. Mm-hmm. You're gonna go to jail if you wear the mask because I don't want you to save your life. Like it just it's not good. It makes no sense what they're doing, and I when I heard that, I'm like, this makes no sense. Why is Google doing this? Why would they want to sit there and penalize people? I mean, what most places are trying to pay people more money just to take a job, and I can't tell you how many times I get, calls or emails, people asking me to take another job somewhere, and I'm like, I don't really want to do anything like that. But it's just amazing how Google would do something like that and penalize people for working at home. More relaxed. I mean, you can't say that people aren't doing the work because you're gonna be the tail. I think that was one of the main things the company was concerned about is will the people do the work. But most companies are finding out that that's the case. I know what the company I work for, that was a concern. But they're like, okay, the work is just as good and sometimes better. We're still doing well financially with people at home, so it's not that big of a disadvantage for us. So why would you penalize them?
But you know what? Like I said, because the simple answer is because they can.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it in a nutshell.
As we used to always say when we look at TV, it's in the script.
Yep, it's in the script. I have the upper hand. So, hey, just like you used to joke, I know this is a sick analogy, but...
Oh, I have a sick analogy?
No,
Thank you.
What I'm about to say, okay. When you used to tell me, you're a female, you going to let me go as far as with you? Because we never, we'll play with each other. We never physically fight or anything because we don't believe in that. But as if I could win against Rick is what I'm saying. It's because you can. You're the man. You can overpower me. Thank God you're not one of those men that would do that. Yeah. But you can overpower me.
I overpower you with love, baby.
I know, and I love it. Thank you. But you're like the lion. I'm like the mouse. Yeah. It's like, boom. That's it. Just like that's the analogy I'm using with Google.
Yeah.
I got the right to do it. You want your job. You want to get paid what you was getting paid. This is what you need to do. And I hate that. That in that case, that's not fair to those people who are putting out 110% at home.
Yeah. I used to use an analogy also. You can have the toughest dog in the world, but there's no tiger or lion out there that's scared of them. He can do all the barking and talk all he wants. That lion is only thing that lion is looking at is the advantage that I'm gonna get in a few minutes of eating you.
Yep. Oh my God. And I love that too.
It's like you could holler and scream all you want to.
Yeah, what was that? The lion's gaze.
Yeah,
Because they keep going.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get close enough to you. Okay, keep barking. And it's just like, sometimes, there's some people that just know that they can, and a lot of companies at that point, but they know they can do that, and it's unfortunate. Hey, we got one more story. I don't know what the time we got left over there. We should have enough time over there. Go to this story that you want to read now. Okay.
White man launches racist attack against black man at a hotel swimming pool. A black man says he's fortunate to be alive after being a sufferer of a racist assault that came about at a lodge swimming pool. Now, this is in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Jackie Beard Jr. was there with his family, staying at the Staybridge Suites. And some stuff happened with this other man named Joel Vanema. Well, yeah, Joe Vanema and his rowdy habits with his children at the pool, or whoever he was at the pool. The black guy just asked him nicely, can he chill with that in front of his children? Because he was being very raunchy. But of course, Vanema took his bad habits to the next level and threatened the man, Rick, and told him, F-U-N-U, I'm going to kill you. It's like, what the heck? I just asked nicely. So, for this to de-escalate, Rick, what do a brother do? He walks away.
Yeah, I mean, it's best for him to do that because we still live in a time of age where the black person may not be received as being honest about the situation over the white individual. We still live in that kind of world. Thank God for video cameras now that you can see these crazy Karens and all these people doing all these belligerent things. And you said he was he cursing and something that the black guy didn't want. He wasn't cursing directly at him at first, was he?
He was just being belligerent. And he was drunk and doing some vulgar stuff, and he just asked him not to do it.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing is always work when I almost didn't want to do these stories because I'm tired of these little white stories where they're doing something belligerent and ignorant to African Americans or people of color. It's getting to be ridiculous. Trump is no longer the president. We're not attacking the White House anymore. Get back into your hidden racist ways.
They ain't had no more.
And don't bring it out anymore. I'm happy for the person, because he didn't do anything, because he could have done something physical. Did he?
No, the African American walked away.
I know you said that.
But when he walked away, the other guy came back and jumped him and beat him. And so the cop was called. And so what you just said, unfortunately, they will believe them. But this person was so ignorant and indignant, he decided to do this in front of the cops. So the cops like, wait a minute, you don't even got no respect for us. Of course they don't. So eventually, the stuff, it escalated, and then they calmed it down. But did they really calm it down? Because the guy did say, I was afraid for my life with this. I tried to take the high road and walk away from this situation. But he comes and jump on me. And, that's the thing that get me, no matter what we do.
Yeah, I'm a minister. I believe in God. I love God. That halo may have slipped a little bit when he came over there to put his hands on me, because this old saying I used to say is, don't come in my playground without a pass.
You sure did used to say that.
Don't bother me. I don't bother you. But if you come after me, and I used to tell people all the time, I'm not here to, I heard this one time from a preacher, I'm not going to name his name now because he's had some issues. But he did this sermon, called I'm not trying to wound you. I'm trying to kill you. When you come to me, we ain't gonna have another fight. I'm just saying, the halo may fall off. You ain't coming back for round 2. We ain't gonna do that. So thank the Lord, because I got a little Peter in me sometimes. I'm letting y'all know. There's a little Peter in me. I'm still going to heaven.
LP?
I'm still going to heaven, but I got a little Peter in me now, And I will walk away from something. You can talk all the stuff you want to. I'm gonna kick you. I'm gonna do this. You could talk all that. I'm gonna say, dude, hey, you go ahead, keep talking what you gonna do.
No, you that lying.
No, yeah, I am. Just don't do it. Because my whole thought process is, what do I need to do to make sure you never do this again? Now, I at that moment, I might need to be resaved, but I'm going to make sure I'm saved. Okay, and especially if I got my woman with me. Oh, we got a problem. I'm gonna pick that thing off of the dust, my halo, and just wipe it off and say, "Forgive me, God."
But you know what?
How did what you call it say? Sorry, God, Satan won this round. And
Like,
Martin.
Sorry,
I
the
forgot
halo
what you
was
call it played
tilted.
that part. I can't. What's his name that played that part? Martin, the funny comic. We'll come back to it.
The Tracy Morgan?
No, it was because he was playing the preacher who was trying to talk to Gina.
Oh yeah. Oh God.
I can't think of
he
his
was a
name.
song.
Somebody will tell us about it.
I forgot his name, but yeah.
Yeah, what we looking at, LP?
Minute.
Okay, this one let's end up with the last thing the Beard said. I've had someone calling me the N-word. That's something small to a giant, because we used to y'all coming at us like that.
Yeah.
But physically putting your hands on me, telling me they are going to die, that I'm going to die, and then I'm blacking out was something new to me, he mentioned. And that's what got him, when the fact that you're going to beat me down for nothing. But you know what? That's the world we live in. These are probably some of these hotels.
10 seconds.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know.
Oh, wait a minute, Ernestine.
But he already let you know, so that's the thing.
2 seconds, and we're back.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Let's Stay Together Talk Show. Your host, Reverend Rick McCain, along with my Don't Listen to Time, Baby, My Girl, My Boo, Arthur Brendan McCain, because he had to stop you. That's what
That's okay.
Y'all need to hear us on Facebook, because this girl don't listen to anything. 5 seconds. Okay, well, let me keep talking.
We got time.
Yeah. I go to work. Talking when I want to. Don't care if you tell me not to.
Hey, Ernestine said you a gangster.
No, I'm just real. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna leave you alone. You could say all you want to say. We're talking about something where a white man jumped this black guy on Facebook. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, so join us sometimes on Facebook. We're talking about it, and I just said, hey, I still got a little Peter in me. I'm a preacher, but I'm.
And he not from the West Side.
You could say whatever you want to say about what you're gonna kick my behind. I am from the West Side.
Yeah, he is from the West Side.
Ain't nothing wrong with the West Side. You got some wonderful.
No, she was asking me where you from the West Side, and I forgot
West
you
Side.
are.
But you're gonna have some people that's gonna push you. And my thing is, hey, I always used to say, don't come in my playground without a pass. Don't touch me. I won't touch you. But if you do, my only job is to make sure we don't get it round two. We ain't doing this again.
No round two, huh?
I remember that movie that played in. I can't think of anybody's name now. Whitney Houston. She played in the Bodyguard, and the bodyguard was having a fight with the guy, and he threw the knife, bang.
Yeah.
The guy just stood there. He says, "We ain't gonna have this conversation again. We ain't having this conversation again. You can talk all you want to, but you touch me, we ain't gonna have this conversation again. It ain't gonna be no going back home." Okay, no. Yeah, I'm gonna send you to Jesus. I'm gonna baptize you. I'm gonna get you saved, and I'm gonna send you to heaven all in that same day. You gonna know what?
Pick your choice, right?
You're gonna have all three. It's gonna be the trifecta: Father, Son, Holy Ghost. You're going to be saved, sent to heaven, and no longer on earth.
Oh, wow.
That's basically what's going to happen. I'm just telling you, I got a little Peter in me, Hey, how many times do you let them sin, God? 70?
Times 70?
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Let's Stay Together Talk Show. Your host, Reverend Rick McCain, along with my baby, my girl, my boo. I'm crazy. Y'all know that I'm crazy. We're going to do this real quick because we got about 30 minutes. We're going to get some things in here. But let's talk about this what the heaven, what the hell situation that we have. For those of you all are looking for it, the Best of Theater with Stephen Best. He's not going to come on. He had a prior engagement that came up real quick, and he won't be on tonight, but we'll see him again next Tuesday at 8 p.m. But let's go on to What's the Heaven, What the Hell real quick.
Dr. Dre's daughter is homeless. Now, this is an exclusive story. Dr. Dre's eldest daughter, 38, reveals she's homeless, living out of her SUV rental, and hasn't received a dime from him in 18 months, despite repeated pleas for help. Now, mind you, Rick, I said she's 38 years old. A lot of people gonna jump real fast because they figure he's worth $800 million. At least he should help out his children. But we don't know what happened before that made him stop helping her out.
Yeah, I missed the part was at 18 months because I didn't think he helped at all. I mean, so that means he must have helped her before.
He just stopped in
and
2020.
He stopped it just recently. So me a reason for that. But as you said, he makes they said in 2021, I think, roughly $820 million. Not to mention that he sold. I look at this. He sold the Beats that the headphones. He sold his brand the Beats. Dr. Dre sold those to Apple for $3 billion. I don't know how you have a net worth of $220 million if you sold your Beats for $3 million. Maybe he didn't get all that at once. Who knows? But to hear that was shocking to me. It's like, what the hell? You got a daughter who is online, getting on there, going to GoFundMe, trying to raise $50,000 so she can take care of some responsibilities or whatever. And your father happens to be one of the, I think they said he was like he is the third richest rapper in the world, according to Wealthy Gorilla. Never heard of that before. Wealthy Gorilla. Look that one up. And yet his daughter is online doing this. Now, somehow or another, I don't know all the story. I'm trying to look at it. This just seemed like there's a shaming, thing right here. You ain't gonna give me no money. I'm gonna get online. I mean, how did they know that she was Dr. Dre's daughter?
Because she shamed him before. That's why he ain't helping her.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Her name is LaTanya Jones. I don't know what Dre's last name is. I don't know if it's Jones or not.
LaTanya Young is her.
I'm sorry, it's just Tanya Young. Thank you. That's her name. I don't know what his last name is, Young or not. Somebody out there can let me know that I'm looking on this paper and I don't see anything about that. But for her to do something like that, she had to somehow let people know that she was his daughter and that she was doing it so she can get some sympathy on this.
Now, she ain't seen her father in 18 years. So that's the thing that get me
you said
with
18 months.
He haven't dropped a dime in 18 months, and she ain't seen him in 18 years, according to this. But what's tripping me out is that, just because, and let's be very clear with this, I'm not taking sides, but just because your parents are millionaires doesn't make you a millionaire. Now, I'm sure he got other children out there, and he's unfortunately going through this bad battle with his ex-wife, Nicole Young, and dropping down is what she's looking at. You giving her $300,000 a month and spousal support, and I'm your blood, and you can't continue to help me. But it's like, when does the purse strings or the wallet cuts off for him? This is an adult child who he been paying out for numerous times along with other children. So it's like, even though I'm paying my ex-wife this money, I don't have to continue to pay you money. And the only reason I'm doing that for her is because the court mandated me to do that. Because that's a lot of money a month. And like I'm saying, reading all of the details of this, she's looking at that like, well, you dropping this for her. I'm living in a car. But that's your choice when you can live with your family members. Okay, so one of the things we talk about, what the heaven, what the hell, is basically, what the hell means. Mm-hmm. What the heaven is basically looking at a sympathetic side of it. What the heaven? Why wouldn't you not do this for her? And so I guess the question becomes, why is he not doing this for her? Is there some kind of a situation where, because it said he was helping her for a while. Until because last year he was gravely ill in the hospital, but she shamed him so bad on something. And he was like, as I just typed to Ernestine, girl, bye. I done did all I could do for you. It's not seem like it's ever going to be enough for her.
Please remember to tell people that you're talking about something you saw on Facebook.
I'm sorry for our Soul Radio people. I'm sorry. Something I seen on Facebook that I just voiced out.
Right. So we have people on Facebook that's listening to our show. That's looking at us on Facebook. You can also join us on Facebook as well. But I look at first when I looked at this, I'm like, what the hell? You're $820 million. You done sold Beats for like $3 billion. You got a daughter out there that you're not helping. Now, I understand she's older, and she probably should do things on her own.
And she have 3 kids.
You know, she has 3 kids, and maybe she's not providing. You know, she's not doing her part to do that. You know, a lot of times when people have wealth, the family will live off that wealth. You know, there's no way that Paris Hilton got a TV show if it wasn't because of the Hilton Foundation. You know, the hotels and stuff like that. People have, you know, they live off the wealth of their families, and they don't feel that they have to develop their own wealth to make it generational wealth.
Right,
You know, they don't want to continue the generation of that wealth. They just want to live off of the wealth that they have. And this might be the case. However,
she ran through her wealth.
Yeah. However, you know, it does, you know, even though with shaming her or trying to shame him, she had to do something to make him just say, you know, enough's enough. We don't really know what that is. I don't know all the story. We don't have it all here right now. But the fact of the matter is, even though my child may have shamed me, if I have the financial assistance to help them like he does, I might help with conditions. You know, here's the conditions of what I'm going to do. You know, I'm going to, you know, you're past, you need this. I'll take care of that. I'm not giving you anything, but I'll take care of that. You're behind on this. You need this. You need $50,000 for this. I'll take care of that. But you're going to have to get on your feet. There's going to be conditions with that. He may have already done that, and he's got to the point where he doesn't want to help anymore. And kids will do that. They will shame. We saw the I can't think of his name, Kirk Franklin, where his son shamed him by doing a recording.
That was so wrong.
You know, these things happen. She literally went to the Daily Mail to reveal this story.
And you really think that's going to make him want to do it now?
No, I mean, and to shame it. Now, it also had twofold, because she's probably looking for people sympathetic and give her $50,000 or more. Oh, this is a shame that Dre won't take care of his daughter. Let me donate to them. You know, people will donate that. It's a shaming thing, so I can benefit off of it. Maybe I'll shame him enough that I'll get something. Maybe that shame will get people to decide to give to me. But it's something I think that, you know, when I first saw, I'm like, what the hell? He's not going to help his daughter. But then when I look at the story, it's more than meets the eye with this.
Yeah.
And I say, you know, what the heaven? You want him to help his child. We were just talking about being home-centered. But that child has to not be rebellious enough that you want to help them. I know about rebellious children, that's for sure.
Yeah. One thing I want to say with this, that I could see this being part of her ammo. He has a bad rap with women, of beating women and not doing what he needed to do. So she parlayed into that, because it's like, well, you've already been shamed about beating such and such down, that you're going through a divorce with your ex-wife, beating her down, doing this. So I might as well get on the bandwagon and see if you're going to pay. Now, he just stopped paying in January 2020. It's like, if you had this money and you got, I thought it was 3 kids, got 4 kids, you expected him to pay for you and your children. And see, that's what bothered me about a lot of people who come from wealthy parents. Like I said, that money is your parents' money. What are you doing? And the only thing you're doing right now is shaming this man to get it, you know, to get him to do something. And unfortunately, what you dealing with, you're not going to like what he's about to do, I bet. Because that man ain't somebody you play with.
Well, I mean, you know, and I think it's wrong to bring up, and I'm not saying you, but it's wrong to bring up his relationship with someone else. I mean, if he has those kind of issues, that's between him and that individual. Person. He needs some assistance. He needs counseling. They need to separate. That's a totally different issue. But that's a part of the shaming. You know, well, you got these problems. You do this. You do that. Okay, let that be worked out between them and God. That has nothing to do with the situation what's happening here. And you trying to use that to your advantage is wrong. And I don't agree with that. But I will say, as we close this to go to something else, is that you're hoping that relationship can be salvaged, and that you can go beyond these hurtful things that are happening right now, and Drake can have a productive relationship with his daughter down the line. I'm sure it's going to take some time, but we're hoping and praying that will help. So what we're talking about, what the heaven, what the hell today is Dr. Dre, who has a net worth of 820 million, so beats for 3 billion, has a daughter out there right now, Latanya Young, who has a GoFundMe campaign for $50,000, which pretty much just seems like she's trying to shame her pops. So we'll do that. Hey, we're going to do this, and I hope he's ready for it. So we're going to throw in for about, 10 minutes or something here with LP. You're going to be surprised because he actually does talk. We are going to do this thing about, we did about a couple of weeks ago about old sayings that we used to say in our generation of people before us that was slang that younger people would know. So now LP is going to bring up some slang and stuff that younger people use today that us old folks may not know. So LP, what you got for us?
Okay. I don't have a title. I know you told me I should come up with a title by now. And I haven't thought about it.
Okay. Isn't that something? The producer of the show. Who asks us for a title all the time.
I gotta name the stream, all right? I just ask you what you want me to name the stream. So what you got for us? All right, so we're gonna go down a list of slang terms, and we're gonna see if you guys can figure them out.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, you guys out there help us too.
Yeah, you guys in the chat can play, but you guys can't. It's not fair if you guys look at chat, because then
I'm looking at you now. She
Right.
might cheat.
I don't know what chat.
all right, we'll
is.
start.
About that, Brenda.
Oh.
Dude, can we
get
to
it?
it?
You guys are talking, so I was
Come
letting
on.
you guys talk. All right, we'll start with an easy one. All right, this one's if I say someone is the GOAT, what does that mean?
A dope?
The GOAT.
They're the greatest of all time.
Yeah, there
Right,
you go.
I just used that. Greatest of all time, Michael
I know
Jordan.
that because of basketball.
There you go. All right. If you say somebody is sus, what does that mean?
Sus?
Yeah, sus.
Suspect.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, boy. Yeah,
I'm like, what?
He's two. He's
go
two for
ahead.
two right now. He's 2 for 2 right now. All right. If I
Whatever.
say okay, boomer, what does that mean?
Okay, boomer.
Yeah.
Boomer. A boomer.
Boomer
is a-
baby or something. Old
yeah, old
person.
person.
Yeah, she's on the right path.
Yeah, old person. Okay, boomer.
2 for 2.
Yeah.
You didn't get.
I got the first one too
No,
because
you
I said I
didn't.
just used it.
Well,
Michael
you guys got it at the same
You didn't
time.
say
You
it.
guys are 2 for 2 right now. You
Yeah,
guys are
she
2
didn't
for
say
2
the
right
first
now.
one. She's 1 for 3.
All right. If you
Thanks, Ernie. Great of all time. Mhm.
Yeah. What do you got?
Okay, if you ghost somebody, what does that mean?
You disappear. You don't talk to them
You
no
ghost
more.
them. You disrespect them.
She got it right.
Okay.
'cause I did a
You
lot of
disappear,
ghosting.
yeah.
You disappear.
You
Yeah.
like you go on a date, and then you disappear from their life.
Mm-hmm.
All right, if I say no cap, what does that mean?
No cash.
No
no
cap.
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 No guns allowed. Or
No.
something?
I think no. Is it no cap?
No baseball caps?
No money. Something like that.
No, it means no lie.
No lie. Yes, right. No lie. No cap. I've heard that before.
Yeah.
No,
No
cap. No lie.
lies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because capping is lying.
Yeah.
So no
Just
cap.
say
I used to
lying.
tell every time the teacher asks me something, she says, capitalize that. I'm like, no cap. I'm no cap. That's a terrible joke. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. If you say low key, what does that mean?
A person who's
Don't rile up. Don't
Persons like
deserve
you.
Something very
Yeah.
doesn't, a person
Mild
like, just like you.
Yeah.
Yeah, mild
Yeah, you got
mannered.
it right. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
You
What's
don't. It's not from Disney. Just by the way,
what?
Low Key is not from Disney.
Oh yeah.
What that mean?
That's a character. His name is Loki.
Loki.
Go ahead.
That's
guy?
L-O-K-I.
I know.
right?
That's
That's the
I'm just
joke.
saying. Go ahead. It's a joke.
All right. What's a stan?
A stand.
Yeah. STAN.
Put it in
stan.
a sentence. I don't
Stan.
Yeah.
If I say I can't. If I use it in a sentence, it's cheating.
Okay. What's a stand? A stand.
A stan. If Steven was here, he might honestly know.
A stand.
He probably Steven.
I'll say this. I'll use a sentence. Steven stans Beyonce.
Loves or respects, honors.
Stan's like a super fan.
Oh, okay. Super fan.
Oh, Beyonce.
You remember that?
fan.
You remember that Eminem song "Stan"?
No.
I do remember. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it
I
comes
just know
from.
the 8
Okay.
Mile thing. That's it.
Yeah. Go ahead. One.
All right.
We're kind of missing on a couple of these. I'm telling
A
you.
couple of these, yeah, you're missing. All right, if somebody's thirsty, what does that mean?
Oh my God, hungry woman. That's what I think
Thirsty
of. A
means
thirsty
they're-
woman
yeah.
that you hungry for.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus, calm down. I hate thirsty women.
I'm thirsty for you, babe.
But that's to my husband. I said
All right.
thirsty women. Stop.
All right, if I say dead, if I say I'm dead, what does that mean?
I'm done with you.
No.
I'm dead. I have no idea.
It means you said something really funny.
Huh?
It means you said something really funny.
Really funny?
Yeah,
Wow.
really,
And it's
really
called
funny.
dead?
Yeah.
Man, he was just dead. wasn't he was just,
You know,
man, he was dead. Knocked you out with laughter or something like that.
Yeah, you know, like you're laughing so hard, you know, you can't breathe, you're gonna die.
Well, we're not doing too good with these openings.
All right, well, how about if something slaps?
Something slaps. Something that's funny.
Kinda close.
Humorous or
hilarious,
something that's stupid.
Something that sounds good. It's like a song that sounds good. If a song is really good, you say that
Yeah.
song slaps.
Okay. Wow. Where do these people come up with this stuff?
I don't know.
All right. If somebody's salty, what does that mean?
They're mad.
Yeah, there you go.
Man,
I forgot that was an easier one. I
it
should have.
He playing those.
You
like,
got about, give me 3 more.
Give you 3 more?
Yeah.
Okay. Some of these people don't say. It's list like some like I'm reading. It's like a list for parents to keep up with their slang, and I'm like, some of these people, no one says this.
Go ahead.
If I say something's lit, what does that mean?
It's on fire.
It's going on.
It's going
it was
on,
lit.
yeah.
We
It's going
having
on.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
It's lit.
Okay. Well, if I say something's turnt, what does that mean?
Ooh, it was bad.
It's like turning up is good.
Oh,
It's
Turnt?
also good. It's the same
Yeah.
thing.
Oh,
All
yeah. Shit, I thought you said chart. I'm
right,
like,
and this
man.
one's the hardest one. I'm sure neither of you will get this. If I if I say, and you'll have to minorly excuse my French. It's not really a swear word, but if I say if I say dead ass, what does that mean? DEADASS.
Bad is bad or it's good. It's like it's really good. I think dead ass is like, man, that was dead ass good. Does that mean like it was good?
You used it
Excellent?
correctly in a sentence.
Yeah.
But it's not,
saying the right thing.
you're not got the right definition.
I guess I'm close. I don't know. What would it be?
It means it's like a replacement for serious.
Okay.
It means it's a replacement for serious. Like, are you serious? You dead ass? You dead ass right now?
Seriously good. Yeah, okay.
I just
I used it right in a sentence, but said it wrong. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, we I think we probably got a C- on that.
We started off strong.
Yeah, we started out strong. So we got somebody, I'm like, what the heck? So these young people be coming up with these crazy words that we don't know.
Yes, it's like,
But then
damn,
again, that's what we used to do with our parents, and they couldn't understand us.
a whole generation gap.
You know,
Like,
man, it's fierce. And my mom like, huh?
right. What are you talking about, now, man?
Don't start none, won't be none. Wonder what? What are you talking about? What you finna do? Hey, so that was a good time here, with
Jesus.
that. Hey, so we're gonna go because we're gonna.
Wait.
Wait.
I'm sorry. Ernestine said she got 4 right.
Right, okay. So,
Yay.
so she got 4
Did anybody
right.
get dead ass? I have to know.
Yeah, somebody. That was a rough one.
Right.
So we're gonna go. You're gonna do something on Club 50.
Club 50 Fave Designs.
Then Ife Designs.
Okay,
we
Club
go to the relationship
50, we are going to be talking about watercolors this week. I'm inspiring you with the watercolors. I'm going to put it together with something and give it to you tomorrow, but you can read all about it on theclub50.com. Now I'm about to go into this relationship letter.
Yeah. Hey, quickly, let me just say that I'm getting a report here that a woman was shot to death in the Burnside area in the Chicago location around 3:30 today. So we're praying for the family there. This is Chicago area. A woman was shot to death in the Burnside area. 26-year-old girl was fatally shot. This is Monday, but they just reported today. And so we're praying for the family. It happened on the 8900 block of South Lawrence. We just got to stop all this shooting in this area. She was pronounced dead at 7 p.m. By the Cook County Medical Examiner. She has not been identified, so we're praying for the family. in this situation, and we're hoping that in Chicago and all around the world, people will stop, put down their guns, and just live in peace and love.
It's just
It is ridiculous. But go ahead, babe. What's the relationship letter?
Ernie, if you out there still, you and Lady Rochelle, I need some help here. Dear LSTT, what is really going on? Last week I was at an outside event and ran up on one of my friend's husbands. Yeah, you know the drill. He wasn't with her. He was with a group of friends all coupled up with some chick. To my knowledge, they were doing good in their relationship. He invited me to join their group at this outdoor concert. Part of me wanted to, but my other girlfriend told me, don't, because if something went down, she didn't want to be involved in the drama. LSTT, what would you have done? Or let me see, LSTT, what would you have done? Walk away or stay to find out what's really going on?
Go open that door for her.
Sincerely, Miss Curious. So, Rick, you gonna ask me? Say that again.
So, Miss Curious, now I heard that she saw a young man that is dating or married to another woman.
Married to her friend.
And he's out there with some other friends, and he happens to be kind of
coupled up with
another young lady. And what should she do?
And he invited them to come, her and her friend, to come hang out with him.
So, and he knows that that's his wife's friend. Mm-hmm. And he bold enough. This is a bold brother.
Very bold.
That's going to sit there and, hey, come on over here, Brenda.
Or that could be a slick move.
You know. Yeah, but you know, already been hugged up with her. But I mean, I'm assuming he's still hugged up with her or something like that. What should you do? And this is a female action. This is kind of a female action. What that female should do. And so now I can see why you asked for Ernie and Lady Rochelle, because you know it made me feel like me and Little Philip, LP over here didn't have an opinion at all. But that's a rough one because you want to tell.
Well, Vanessa could help
you
me
want
then.
to tell that person. Just push that other side. You want to tell that person about what happened, but in some cases, it depends on the relationship that you have with that individual. Because sometimes a woman will get mad. Well, why are you over there? Why did you go with them? Why did you socialize with them? They'll get mad about that situation, and so I would, probably say, depending on the relationship I have with that person, knowing that this will not cause an issue with our relationship, I would make the decision then, or should I tell or not. I would not want my friend to be blindsided by the situation, so I would try to find some way to let her know about it, and just hopefully that our relationship doesn't, have any problems because of that situation.
Okay, Lady Rochelle said, depending on how close we are, I would have text her to show up. And Ernestine says, stay out of it. The wife probably knows what's going on, or he will probably tell his wife a totally different story.
So I'm going to say this, and I'm going to tell you, just paraphrase it for Vanessa real quick. We have cameras now on our phones. All you got to do is take a picture.
Take a picture.
Yep.
What's in the dark will come to the light.
So I don't know if you heard the thing. Just tell
the story is
young
lady was out at an outdoor concert with her girlfriend. She run up across one of her other girlfriend's husband, all hugged up with somebody else. And when he was hugged up with him, he played it off and said, hey, come join us. And she like, what should I do? See that look on her face? Yeah. What should I do? Should I go join them to find out what's really going on, or stay out of it? Okay. She looking at me like she mad at me.
Well, let me just see this while she's thinking. I love Ernie's answer, and I'm going to tease Ernie. So I'm definitely going to invite Ernie over when she see me with somebody else.
Ernie from the West Side, she would kick you down.
I would say, hey, Ernie, come on over here and meet the girl that I'm hooked up with that ain't Brenda.
Ernie said, stay out of it. She said, it
come on over here.
Anyway.
It ain't Brenda I'm hooked up with, but come over here and socialize with us.
Because people can get real funny about their relationships, and see, they'll have a big fight about what you said, then they'll make up and say you tried to mess their marriage up and you should have stayed out their business. But I would have no respect for him at all. He couldn't say anything else to me.
It's like
whatsoever. If I'm gonna say anything, I'm gonna say
it dead to me.
If anything, I would tell him and her. You would. You would have married man, don't you? And then his friend, and she's my friend. That's all I have to say, and then walk away.
But
I wouldn't say anything to her.
Let me go back.
Don't even take the picture because they'll have a fight and get back together. I mean, you be the person on the outside. But I would have nothing to say to him ever.
Well, let me just say this. It depends on the relationship, what all of us are saying. But as a girlfriend, when he invited me over, the first thing I would have said is no.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. When you decide to go over there, you're implicit. You know, I don't care how good relationship you may have with him. If that's your girl, you don't do that. You know, if that, you know, if I saw one of my...
Unless that was my brother. I'm like, come here. Like, what's going on?
That's a totally different thing. You even use that other word in the wrong way, too. Is Ernie cracking back at me?
And they blinked it out.
Let me
wow. I'm going to bleep it out. Can you see it up there?
What? See what?
I would beat the beep out of Rick. I would make a scene. I love you, girl. Bryn is my sister.
She's joking about me when I said Ernie won't say anything. They bleeped it out. What do you mean?
It's light on here. It's like they got it fogged out that
really?
I can barely
read
it.
Here. I guess they
That's
did.
So funny.
Okay.
Well, that's so I can moderate it.
Yeah, it's because we're moderate. Okay, they blanked it out. I'll beat the SHIT.
I need to be able to see it.
So I mean, you know that is, you know, of course she would. But I think if I was the individual, the young lady, I would probably not want to socialize with him because you're being implicit to what he's doing when you socialize with him. And like I said, again, we all said you need to, you know, based on that relationship. I mean, if it was you and Ernie, you know, Ernie would probably call you on the phone, send you a picture, call you on the phone, say, "Here, handle this."
She would, yeah.
Because you have that kind of relationship, but you have some girls will be mad. Well, why was you there? You know, around there? Why was you there? Why did you take the picture? Why didn't you? You know, and you're like, girl, I'm trying to help you.
You definitely have to know the person.
Yeah.
And how they will react to the situation. Because you might be able to tell some people, but you can't tell everybody.
Which I'm going to say this. Yeah, I may not agree. Yeah, I may not agree. May not agree. But I don't think you would have that problem with a guy seeing a guy to a guy. If a guy saw, you know, if a friend of mine saw you with somebody else, I'm not going to get mad at him. I'm going to say, you know, good look out, brother. So why is it different for the woman? Y'all ain't saying good look out, but the brother's gonna just say, he ain't gonna get mad like, man, why you there? Why you do that? You messing up my relationship. He gonna just say good look out, brother. So why is it that women, you all can be, I'm gonna go there.
Women are
petty.
highly emotional.
Y'all can be petty that way. It's your girlfriend trying to help you out and you gonna snap on her?
Women are highly emotional.
And what they do that's aggravating
you
is
dropped the bomb on me.
They will always think in the back of their head, maybe you want it, my man. No, I don't. I'm just trying to help you out. And then two, like Vanessa said, we are highly emotional. We take the low road and go after our girl first instead of going after the guy.
That might be a good topic on well, let's talk about it next time.
Yeah.
Why? You know why?
Think
is it
about
different?
that video of that girl whose husband locked out the house and she sat out there and sang to him.
That was just so stupid.
Okay, give me a break.
Right.
Okay.
Hey, we've got about a couple of minutes left here before we end the show. Hope you all enjoyed the show. I already know that Ernie's gonna beat me up, so I'm gonna file charges.
That's why I love her.
I'm gonna file charges against her right now since she's gonna beat me.
But your boys would say good looking out. My inner circle of my close friends, I wouldn't take that the wrong way from them.
Hey, we're about to really end this segment right now, so we've got a couple of minutes left. Thank you for still talking to what you want to say.
I just had to get it out.
So I want you to have any last words other than
That's
that.
it.
Okay. Vanessa, you just came. I don't know if you have any last words because you didn't really have any first words. But
Hey, everybody. Sorry I'm late.
Right.
LP, you want to say anything again?
No.
I said this earlier. My brother reminded, today is a day, unfortunately, is the day that my mother passed away. Mama, we love you. You got a knucklehead boy that's on radio. The family is still together. We're trying to do our best to love and care and share with each other. And I'm thankful for God that I have this wonderful sister that's always there to do great things for the family. A beautiful brother. A little crazy, but he's a beautiful, wonderful
Not
person.
crazy.
And then they have me here, so you don't know what they say about me on a given day. But Mama, we love you and thank you for being our mothers, and we honor you today, the day that our mother passed away 6 years ago. So before we go, I'm gonna have this one last song that we're gonna be playing. It's The Best for Last by Donald Lawrence. Hey, this is Rick McCain along with my baby, my girl, my boo, Entrepreneur McCain. LP Productions, and the late coming Vanessa McCain Mason, who's joined us in here as well again. We will see you next Tuesday, 6:30. Woo-hoo!
Love you guys. ways. And Ernie, we are still on our plan, girl. Believe it or not, we are still working it out.
I will go to jail for my girl. Ain't this something? Y'all crazy. I'm going to jail. Ain't that something? What you in for? My girl's man was fooling my girl. I know you. I would do it too.
And she'd be a bad sister with pearls on in church.
Should Ernie go to jail and wind up having everybody in shape?
Working out.
Hey, ooh, I like her being here.
Right.
Beat up the next husband.
That's right, Ernie. We got you, girl.
Hey, beat up the next husband, girl. We need her to stay here another 20 years.
Get us all in shape. Okay.